He starts the ritual by pointing upwards toward his god, immediately followed by all-seeing eye and dual 6-hand signs. And every hand motion from that point on equals to 6 to finally form 666.
Straight to the point! Everything we eat from Coca-Cola to Nestle tea has aborted babies in it. That's right, all of these companies have a common ingredient, which is Cenomix. If you look it up, Cenomix is a flavor enhancer made from aborted fetal cells. They have collaborated with 7 of the world's biggest food companies. They say it helps keep the flavor with less sugar. These ingredients have never been reviewed by the U.S. and Food Drug Administration. They found a loop around the law of 57 years, and they found out a way to feed us our own people. The Bible was right when it said we would eat ourselves from pure ignorancy. Please do your own research.
Alright, so I'm sure people are familiar with the birth certificate, but I'm pretty sure people aren't familiar with this top cover page right here. This top cover page is from a federally authenticated birth certificate. The reason why I'm showing this is because I'd like to talk about the full faith and credit, which you can see right above my head, which is notified by the little asterisk right here. You see, full faith and credit is referenced in Article 4, Section 1 of the U.S. Constitution. Boom, right here. It's also referenced in Barron's Dictionary of Banking Terms, 7th edition, as a commitment by a state, local, or national government to pledge its taxing authority in payment of principal and interest on outstanding debt securities. It is also referenced in Barron's Dictionary of Accounting Terms as the backing of a debt of a governmental entity with all the resources of the entity, including its taxing and borrowing power, and bonds backed by the full faith and credit of the issuer are called general obligation bonds, which is defined as a security whose payment is unconditionally promised by a governmental unit. And general obligation bonds are backed by the full faith and credit and taxing power of the issuing government, whether it is U.S. or municipality. So I know it sounds like I said a whole lot of absolute fucking nothing but right off definitions, but there's something to explain and there's something to look into with this. So a couple things to comprehend. Number 1, the Constitution of the United States is a banking/trust document. It is not just a contract, but rather a trust contract, where we, the people, are the beneficiaries to that contract, which is why you will find banking verbiage and accounting terms and financing terms within that contract. You see, the full faith and credit clause right below me, reference from Black's Law Dictionary 6th edition, states that various states must recognize legislative acts, public records, and judicial decisions of the other states within the United States, which is why you see it right here. You see, the hospital birth worksheet is completely different than the birth certificate. Reason being is because this is how your strawman was created, as a corporate version of yourself. Or better terminology to use would be a transmitting utility, something to interface in the commercial world. And the birth certificate is acknowledgement of corporate bankrupt existence, pretty much civilly dead, or rather dead, because to be in debt is to be dead, in legal terms. Which is why people need to start comprehending that these birth certificates are pledges to you, because you are the principal. Because you are the person who was named on the hospital worksheet, which then became the birth certificate. Which means you are the person who they are.
Sizes?
And I am Uncle Coney tonight.
Uncle Coney.
Let's talk about this, because this is fascinating. I remember very clearly, I think anybody who was alive at the time does. I remember my parents waking me up, and we went down and we watched you guys land on the moon.
No,
which
you
was
didn't. No, you didn't.
What?
Because there wasn't any television. There wasn't anybody taking a picture. You watched animation. See, you associated what you saw with...
I have very hazy memories.
You don't leave the simulation through exiting it, you leave it through self-realization.
Pac-Man is a 1980 arcade game following the protagonist, Pac-Man, a little disc-shaped dude consuming pellets for food and fleeing from ghosts. In theory, there's no end to this game. Even after running out of lives, your little yellow friend is always happy to play one more round. So, what if Pac-Man wants to leave? Well, in this world, walking off the edge of the map gets you right back at the beginning, so there's no physical way to leave. Or is there? You see, unlike the ghosts, Pac-Man is not a functioning entity on his own. He is a puppet controlled by you. Pac-Man is a vehicle of your consciousness. Pac-Man cannot leave his world, but the being that controls him, namely you, can. In a sense, you are Pac-Man. And to leave the simulation, all you have to do is realize that you are more than Pac-Man and not confined to the 2D digital world.
This is what I mean when I say...
If you look at this part of the world, they believe that human beings are not from Earth. They came from somewhere else. Eve and Adam came from somewhere else to Earth. So in a way, human being alien to this land. Do you think we'll make contact with alien within the next 50 years?
Well, that's a really tough one to say. I mean, if there are super intelligent aliens out there, they're probably already observing us. That would seem quite likely, and we just are not smart enough to realize it. But I can do some back-of-the-envelope calculations, and any advanced alien civilization that was at all interested in populating the galaxy, even without exceeding the speed of light, even if you're only moving at, say, 10 or 20% of the speed of light, you could populate the entire galaxy in, let's say, 10 million years. Maybe.
It's literally right in front of your eyes.
TV star. You know, they say TV will rot your brain. That's absurd. TV only softens the brain like a ripe banana to take it all the way. We've created Hulu. Hulu beams TV directly to your portable computing devices, giving you more of the cerebral gelatinizing shows you want anytime, anywhere, for free. I only act out because I want you alone. Mushy mush. And the best part is there's nothing you can do to stop it. I mean, what are you going to do, turn off your TV and your computer? Once your brains are reduced to a cottage cheese like mush, we'll scoop them out with a melon bowler and gobble them right on up. Oops. I think I'm drooling a little. Because we're aliens. And that's how we roll. Hulu, an evil plot to destroy the world.
Stop scrolling because I'm about to blow your mind. Did you know that dolphins are the only creature that you are legally prohibited from interacting with unless you're in a registered facility like SeaWorld? Now you may be thinking, well, dude, the government's trying to protect these creatures. If they really wanted to protect dolphins, they would be banning pesticides which are polluting the world's oceans. Did you know that there used to be a birthing center in Hawaii that was a dolphin-assisted birth center, where you'd go and you'd interact with these dolphins giving birth, and something very miraculous would happen. Keep in mind, the mainstream media went full smear campaign on anyone even considering having a dolphin-assisted birth. So why is that? At these birth centers, a strange phenomenon would happen where the women who are pregnant would be sitting in the water and the dolphins would come around and start swimming in circles around them. They would create a natural vortex around the woman, and they would use their sonar to allegedly psychically heal and interact with the baby, the unborn baby. A man named Igor Charkovsky assisted thousands of underwater dolphin-assisted births with women from around the world, and the results are astounding. And you could say that's why they have tried to ban dolphin-assisted births. Here is the birthing center in Hawaii that has since been closed down after no one was harmed, no animals were injured, and yet thousands of women were giving birth with dolphins around and had an amazing time. But what was the result of this? Children born with a dolphin-assisted birth had higher IQ, higher physical capabilities at a younger age. They were able to walk sooner. They were able to talk sooner. Something happened with these dolphins and these humans that increased their mental, cognitive, and physical abilities. You may be wondering, how is this possible? Isn't a dolphin just a damn dumb fish? Two ways to figure out how exactly you can gauge the intelligence of an animal. One of them is the brain size. Another one is the folds, in the brain, which are indicative of the amount of neural cells that can be present. Dolphins have some of the most folds in their neocortex than any other animal on Earth, which means they could be extremely advanced, and we wouldn't know it because we don't know how to speak dolphin. Here we have a mainstream news article saying experts blast couple for flying to Hawaii for a dolphin-assisted birth. They're trying to make people never consider such a situation. In my opinion, they are hiding a specific, perhaps even ancient practice of giving birth with dolphins present. Leave your thoughts in the comments below and follow me for more videos that are uncovering ancient hidden truth.
What's a conspiracy theory that you 1000% believe in?
Let's talk about all the strange coincidences that surrounds Tupac's murder and the things that just do not add up. We are told to believe deceased Southside Crip member Orlando Anderson shot and killed Tupac Shakur, but what if it was all a fabricated story? During my time in Las Vegas, I was able to snap a few pictures of the very car we're told to believe Tupac was shot in. Upon examining both pictures, I noticed one major strange coincidence. The car in the showroom had no key in its ignition. But neither did the picture we see of Tupac before his alleged murder. Was the picture staged to make us believe the events that followed actually happened, or is what I am about to explain to you all one major coincidence? Follow for part 2, where I will be exposing the truth and breaking down step by step the world's greatest hoax.
Richard King reveals that the core of the human brain is the locus coeruleus, which is a structure that is black because it contains large amounts of neuromelanin, which is essential for its operation. 2. Black infants sit, crawl, and walk sooner than whites. 3. Carol Barnes notes that human mental processes are controlled by melanin, that same chemical which gives blacks their superior physical and mental abilities. 4. Some scientists have revealed that most whites are unable to produce melanin because their pineal glands are often calcified or non-functioning. Pineal calcification rates with Africans are 5 to 15%, Asians 15 to 25%, and Europeans 60 to 80%. This is the chemical basis for the cultural differences between blacks and whites. And 5, melanin endows blacks with greater mental, physical, and spiritual abilities, something which...
Nevertheless, Bernie Mac was introduced to the Cone. They take you there. They took him there. They let him see the fights. At first, he thought it was cool, you know. It was like eyes wide shut. They screwing in front of you. They doing bizarre things, man. Bestiality. You're going, damn, right? But the part that tripped him out, how they showed him. They literally showed him how they clone people. They take the real person and put them off to the left and make 2 more of you. It blew his mind. Just like they did the dogs, the fish, all of that. He's like, wait, I'm tripping. That ain't a real person. Then they start, they stab the person to make you see they bleed. They're real. And they can feel that pain. You understand? So his mind is blown. Now, he done been a couple of times, and the only time they would be willing to put you in shackles so you don't talk, if he's not bringing revenue.
I'm back. A giant shapeshifting statue that talks could be coming to Phoenix. Here's what we know. And it's legit because NBC reported about it as well. Could you imagine watching a 10-story tall Beyonce platform on Grand Ave? The possibilities are endless. And they do mean endless. 10 stories is 14 feet tall. Can you imagine a 14-foot statue coming to a city near you? Revelation 13:15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Remember, a giant shape-shifting statue that talks. The Bible is literally unfolding before our eyes. As it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be when the Son of Man return. This is what they're trying to tell you. Remember, in the days of Noah, there were giants in the land. They're letting you know that we are in the end times by naming this statue the giant and literally making it a 14-foot tall giant. Yes, there will be fallen angels coming and mixing their seed with the humans, just as it was in the days of Noah. But check this statue thing out. They'll be able to put any celebrity up here as a statue and make it talk as if it's the actual celebrity. They also said that the statue will have wise words to speak, so it'll be influential to those listening. They said you can even go scan your body and you can be the giant. People are going to love this because they're going to be lovers of themselves, lovers of different celebrities, and so they're going to embrace this as something that is a great tourist attraction.